explore the many angles thereof to a story, talking to stakeholders, asking the difficult questions, and digging for facts. I believe the viewers are able to make a better decision if they're well informed and understand not just a part, but the complete story. TVC News, first with breaking news. This week. At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
The National Assembly is a busy place. As the bastion of democracy, it is a place where bills are presented, motions debated, laws made, and the yearnings of the people are laid bare. Come with us as we take you through the workings of the National Assembly. We take you through plenary, committee meetings, and probes, all to ensure smooth working of the democratic process.
Okay, good morning and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folarin. Thank you so much. So welcome, sir. Actually, that's my guest. You heard the sound of my guest, Chief Modestus Umenzekwe.
Umenzekwe. Yes.
A U.
U-M-E-N-Z-E-K.
Sorry, I had an E, but it is now a U. And not that it is now, it should be a U,
yes,
which is Umenzekwe.
Umenzekwe, yes.
You're very welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Chief Umenzekwe is a politician. He is a board member of the Federal Housing Authority, and he was just also telling me, also president of...
and then Commercial Complex, Lagos.
There you go.
Thank you.
I just threw that in. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Now, you've been very, very active in politics, and that's why I said politician, first of all.
You're correct.
You're a progressive, as they refer to members of APC, among others.
Yes.
Among others.
Yes.
So you're a progressive. Now, what has been going on is probably what we want to really talk about is the 2023 elections and the fallout of it, especially what we've seen in Lagos, for example. And yesterday, the DSS, they actually put out the information that far from it being a rumor, they have actually identified misguided people who are working hell for leather. The idea sounds preposterous, to install an interim national government. Now, of course, first of all, when you heard that the DSS had put out as much, because the social media can be one thing and people can make up stories, but then the DSS itself went online and said that this is fact. We have found them and we have identified them and we'll be dealing with it. Yes, there were all sorts of interesting moves in Lagos. We thought we were sort of cooling everything down, and now this one comes up. Give me the impression that you had when it came across that indeed there were people who think that in this day and age, somehow that fits into the plan.
Thank you so much. First of all, let me thank God Almighty, who made it possible for us to have this election. Without him, we cannot do anything. So, having said that, let me also thank Nigerians for participating fully in this election. You see, our voter education has done a lot. People are beginning to know their rights. People have started to vote. So the election we had was a good one. And let me congratulate the president-elect Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And let me use this opportunity to also wish him happy birthday, 71st birthday.
Exactly.
Yes. This is the only way I can reach him.
Yes, that was on the 29th.
Yes. Again, let me congratulate also all other contestants because all of them did well.
Okay.
And I can say that this election is the freest we have had in this country. Coming to answer your question, if anybody or any group is calling for an interim national government, it's not acceptable. I'm surprised that people are talking about it. What do we stand to gain?
Well, this is all coming from, it's very good where you started from, stating that an election has been conducted, a winner has been determined,
yes,
and went ahead to congratulate. Now there are those who, for their reasons, say that we want to contest this. And so, okay, there are provisions to contest it, and as you know, both the first runner-up, the PDP, and the third position holder, Labour Party, both of them said that they intend to contest. In fact, I think Mr. Obi went as far as saying that he was going to go to court to prove that he actually won. But all of that is within their rights there. But this group of people that were seen on video, social media video, at Army headquarters, actually asking, they were not speaking to any one individual, but speaking in front of the defense headquarters and saying that they wanted the military to, intervene because they love Nigeria. That is just sophistry for, please come and take over.
You see, Nigeria is giant of Africa. And the Westerners, the foreigners, are looking up to us. If Nigeria has a problem, the whole of Africa will have a problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I hear you.
And Nigeria has been standing against military government in other countries. So why should somebody at this age come up to say that the military should take over?
Well,
do they want a repeat of 1993 election? What happened in 1993? Lives were lost, properties destroyed as a result of one agitation or the other, as a result of annulment of that election. So no right-thinking human being will come at this age and say that we need interim national government. It's not acceptable. Hold on. And he must hand over on 29th May. And you have said it all. The two other people, Atiku and Obi, have taken the right step to go to the court. So why should people go outside what these people are doing to call for international? What do they want? They don't want this country to scatter.
Well, the DSS referred to them as misguided, because certainly people would have to be misguided to be.
Who misguided them?
Well, that perhaps is the big question.
They misguided themselves. Because Peter Obi never called for interim national government. Atiku never called for interim national government. So why should somebody that never participated, that never contested, go all out there
now
and
get
call
people
for
together and
no,
say, let's go to the
no. It's not acceptable.
Let's go and make this demand.
No, Nigerians must resist that.
And as you know, there are these protests that have been going on. I think the authorities have sort of been patient or reticent. These protests, the whole idea, according to them, we are hearing is that they want to call attention to the fact that they continue to insist that they won the election. Now, they didn't win the election.
Is it those people that are calling for interim national government are saying that they won the election, or the contestants? You see, it's confusing. Somebody contested,
yes,
and felt that his vote did not count, and he's going to court. Then somebody that never contested will be on the street shouting for interim national government. How do you balance it? How do you weigh this? Does it sound normal? I'm asking you, does it sound normal?
It's a rhetorical question.
It's just like myself now.
Yeah.
I was never a candidate. Then I go out on the street and start calling people.
Well, this is the mob for you. And that's why perhaps one has to be careful not to look at people as a block. Maybe we should treat people as individuals, because we have enough problems, and it is not all people of any particular extraction that feel this way. Here you are sitting in front of me, and we're talking about this whole matter in one way. You, from your name, I would say you are of Igbo stock.
Yes, I'm an Igbo man.
So there you go. But still, you have that. The danger in society is that people can look at the action of one person and say, all of these people are like this. And that is what I think elders have been counseling, that we need to be careful. There actually is no problem. There actually is no issue. There is no quote-unquote battle. But, you know, things are going on.
You see, that is why we call it election. Anytime there is election, people are bound to agitate, to complain. The winners will be happy. The losers will be unhappy and always contest.
Yes. They can be unhappy.
And that is your right. It's not an easy thing to lose an election. And it's not easy to win.
It isn't.
So if you win, you try to control your level of joy, the way you react, that you don't anger the other party. Then if you lose, the trauma is always much.
Yes.
But if you don't hold yourself very well, people will push you to the wall, and you will do something that is abnormal.
And even if you lose, it is still possible to be a sportsman.
Yes.
You know, ordinarily, this hasn't happened with our election here. Such is the level of bitterness. Neither Atiku nor Obi have congratulated the winner, the president elected. But that's their prerogative. You know, there's no problem there.
No, they must not congratulate. It is their right.
Yes.
They must not congratulate.
Yes, it is. It is indeed their right.
But then, we can't be stagnant. No right-thinking human being will not change button on 29th of May.
Yeah. No.
It's not done.
It's
not done.
That is.
And that is why I thank the president
for
saying
that
this election cannot be annulled, and I must hand over. In short, Buhari has deepened our democracy, has done a lot,
and even
by giving INEC a confetted hand to conduct this election. But then, our brothers that are not satisfied with the outcome of the election have the right to challenge it in a very legal way, which they are doing, for which I commend them.
Exactly. Now, if anybody...
They are doing noble.
Now, if anybody else is doing what DSS says it has identified some people as doing, you've been very clear about that. That is entirely out of order.
Yes, it's out of order.
Let me bring on my other guest this morning, Dr. Abdullahi Mohammed Jabi. He is the North Central Zonal Chairman, Campaign for Democracy in Niger State. A fine morning to you, Dr. Jabi.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you very much, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. It's nice meeting you for the first time on this medium.
You're so very kind, sir. Thank you very much. Our topic, you know already, is the so-called plot to install an interim government. And as you know, the DSS, actually put out a statement yesterday Before then, there had been rumors, but now there is a clear statement that there are misguided elements that the DSS has said it is not going to be patient with. They confirmed, the DSS no less has confirmed the plot to install an interim national government by people they refer to as misguided elements. Give me your thoughts, sir, when you first heard of this, that there were indeed some individuals that were carrying on like this.
It is amazing that in a constitutional democracy, no right-thinking Nigerians you think of an aberration. This word, interim government, was a creation of the military juntas and their efforts to get back to power through the barrel of the gun, which was done in 1993, leading to the annulment of late symbol of democracy, Chief M.K.O. Abiola, of the blessed memory. And I think Nigerians have learned their lessons. Democracy is about the people, the government of the people, by the people, for the people. And as far as Nigerian experience is concerned, election was held on 29th of February 2023, where multi-party contestants participated and the candidates emerged at the end of the election. And this candidate was deemed credible, was deemed to have been elected by Nigerian people willingly, and INEC, who has the constitutional statutory role to declare and return such individuals that have emerged from a free, fair election like we had on 29th of February 2023, have done their job. So if any other individual or group of individuals or separatists are thinking that they can bring back the bad memory of Better Nigeria led by the late senator, that will not work in 2023. I think Nigeria have outgrown that type of aberration. So in excess, it is uncalled for, it is unconstitutional, it is illegal, and the DSS have been able to unravel individuals and groups that are pushing for this type of unguided political experiment. When there is a legitimate government that has been elected in place, they should deal with them sarcastically and put them where they belong. Nigerians have a lot of challenges on their hands, and we thank God that the prayers of Nigerians have been answered, that the present president-elect is a tested candidate. His record speaks for him, his legacy speaks for him, and I think we should give him a chance to replicate what he did in Lagos about 23 years ago, when he emerged as a governor under Alliance for Democracy in 2007. So, Mr. President, I've done the needful. He has pronounced, making a declarative statement that is eager to hand over on May 29, 2023, and that has come to stay. And all the security agencies are on guide, including the military, to ensure that whoever is sponsoring those miscreants, enemy of state, to think they can truncate the largest democracy in Africa, they should be put into their right perspective, use the instrumentality of the law, and then they are charged to court for prosecution as maybe. Indeed.
Well, thank you very much, Alhaji. I wonder if just before I come to
the president, Senator Bola Tinubu, for emerging victorious at the polls, and it is the hope, renewed hope of Nigeria, and we are going to support him to ensure that it change our misfortune to a better fortune environment where Nigeria will be proud of the incoming government for what we are lacking in the past that may likely be corrected using his wide professional experience, his human capital experience, his contacts, his good governance experience, and they will be able to situate us in the Committee of Nations that have recovered from depression arising from economic depression, from depression arising from poverty. Those shackles will be broken by the symbol.
Indeed. I'll come back to you. Now, I don't know why they opened the port. I thought they wanted to talk to me, but no, that was, you see, let me ask you to speculate, if you will, about why the DSS is playing it like this. The DSS, in the statement that they put out, had said, and I'm quoting directly, the illegality is totally unacceptable in a democracy and to peace-loving Nigerians. Now, why weren't they arrested for treason? As you are not the DSS, but that's why I used the word speculation. Do you have any idea why they didn't so do?
I've said it, or they said peace-loving Nigerians. Rushing to arrest them will not help us now. The most important thing is to talk to them.
Okay.
To advise them.
That's part of it, because
yes,
the DSS is said to have warned them
that is
to
what
be
they
very,
have
very,
done.
very careful.
You don't just go there and arrest them. You have to warn them. Because we're in a democracy. We follow rule of law.
Okay.
You do something, they say, they're infringing on my fundamental human right. So DSS has done a good job by warning them.
Okay.
And I'm advising them to stop those distractions.
Indeed.
There's no way interim national government will work.
And I mean, the other thing that we heard was that, coming back to you, Dr. Jabi, the other thing that we heard is that there are, schemes to, keep protests going on. The whole result being that maybe, it would provoke violent protests nationwide, and thereby engineer this odious concept. Why anybody, as we've just said, would think of an interim national government, which Chief here has described as a contraption that was come up with by the army. Why somebody would think that in this day and age that is the thing to do? I don't know, but what are your thoughts? You heard the chief say that maybe the DSS was trying to be a bit gentle about it, warn them first. But there are those who are saying that isn't this straightforward treason? And since when did people begin to be very gentle with treasonable fellows? That is, even if it can be proved that that is what it is.
Well, I want to say here clearly that because the environment is overheated after the pronouncement of the winner of the elections and drawing experience for what happened to Chief MK Abiola, every organ of government and government officials are trying to comply substantially with the rule of law. But that is not to say that they are weakly by giving the notice first to Nigerians to know that this thing is in the offing. We've unraveled it, and we are working on those who are suspecting, getting the intelligence. We're going to work with it. But for the notice of the public, let the public be on guard to ensure that these elements do not in any way raise their ugly head to truncate the democracy we pay dearly for. We earn through our blood. Some people died in the process. Some people were jailed. Some people went to exile. I must give it to Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu for all the effort and resources he put into it during the struggle to reclaim the mandate of Chief MK Abiola of the blessed memory. And today, God in his wisdom has divided the symbol of this struggle to have emerged as the president-elect of Federal Republic of Nigeria. We must guide it. We must protect it to ensure that we don't allow any individual or group of individuals to truncate democracies. For those who are yearning for international government, they do not know the implication. They are living in the psyche of the military era, and that's why they are thinking democracy is a freedom, unguided latitude for them to do and not do. How a right-thinking Nigeria will go to the military formation that we're inviting you to come and take over, don't want swearing of the president-elect? Is it normal?
No, but they say they love Nigeria. Among the things, they say they love Nigeria is why they were where they were.
That is a distraction. That is a conception that is against the interests of the states and Nigerians as a whole. In fact, in a very good climate, if not for democracy, this group of idiots and arrogant should have been executed at the premises of the Nigerian army where they went to make that demand.
Coming back to studio, Chief, I mean, this is probably the outrage that a lot of people feel. Of course, I know that Alhaji Jabi was speaking hyperbolically there, but it shows the outrage. What manner of people are these?
You see, let me come in again.
Sure.
I keep warning and keep advising. Anything that will bring trouble in this country must be stopped. We have had a lot of distractions. we have lost a lot. We had the Ebola problem. It distracted the country. From Ebola, we landed into COVID, and that COVID, we have not come out of it
fully yet.
Now, NSAS came. This country nearly collapsed, more especially Lagos, for which I commend the governor of Lagos State for containing that. I pitied him, but he was able to contain that. Now, we came out from that. We are not talking about another trouble that is illegal. Because whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not, interim national government is illegal. It's not within the framework of our constitution.
It's not illegal for them to protest the election. It's not illegal for them to protest the election, but it definitely is illegal to go as far as they have now gone. And
that is what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
That is what I'm saying.
So
one can protest. Even in America, between Biden and Trump, there was a lot of unrest, but it didn't break up America. So it is normal in any situation. In any fierce contest, such things are expected. But wisdom is knowing when to stop. Indeed. So at this stage, we have to stop and allow the court, allow the tribunal to decide.
You know, the political situation, the elections, the two elections in Lagos, the presidential and then going on to the governorship election, it was what it was. We've spoken about that. Ethnic sentiments rose to the fore. Elders came in and spoke about this whole thing. The whole idea being to bring down tensions, but it's like we've never seen that kind of a thing before that was seen in Lagos, where the Lagosians, Lagos voters seem to think that what's going on here, people from without, so to speak, are going to impose on us how we go about, our lives here. No, that cannot be allowed. That somehow was misunderstood, not be allowed at the polls. That was misunderstood, and before we know where we were, until elders came in on the matter, we almost had, something of an ethnic contestation. How do we avoid these kind of situations? Because there has been peace in the land all these decades, and then suddenly, 2023, we have the situation we have on our hands.
That is why I keep warning about making inflammatory statements. The social media has done more harm than good. A lot of things are contrived and pushed out to the public. The gullible will capitalize on that and start behaving abnormal. Lagos is center of excellence and is home for all. Every other person converge in Lagos, from Anambra, Imo, Sokoto, Maiduguri, all parts of Nigeria.
That's right.
You see them coming to Lagos. And Lagos has been very, very good to people. So it is still those people that don't want things to go the normal way, that to go to Lagosians and make some inflammatory statements, go to other tribes and make them to make some inflammatory statements. And when these things are pushed out in the social media, it will ignite a lot of problems. So, my take on that is that all ethnic groups in Lagos should be very, very careful and calm down. The insecurity in the country, everybody is running away from unknown gunmen, kidnappers and others, running to Lagos. Then why should we destabilize Lagos again? The safe haven for everybody. I think it is abnormal.
Okay.
And I want advice and appeal to everybody, anybody in Lagos, to calm down. Because I know that the president-elect, when he's sworn in, will do a lot. He's a developer.
Okay.
He understands the problem of this country and problem of Lagos.
Okay.
He will do a lot of things.
Okay. Before I go on break, let me include the call of Mr. Lukman in Accra, Ghana. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Yori.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in.
I'm so happy that you brought an Igbo man to your program today, and God will bless him and bless his generation for speaking as a patriotic Nigerian. I'm so full of joy this morning that I saw a man speaking like a Nigerian, not like a Yoruba or like an Igbo or like an Hausa person. Electoral process has gone. We have voted. Going to court as well is part of the electoral process. And people that claim that they've won, they should tender their guarantee at the court of law. In this country, in Ghana, 2012, what are we appealing to President Buhari is they should televise the process of the court process, the presidential tribunal for the whole month, for whatever time it will happen. Because in this country, we had it for 8 months between Nana Akufo-Addo, current president, and former president in 2012. So that it will be open to everybody that the election was not rigged. Their lawyer will be able to contest it, and they will present and we'll be able to have a progressive country. We should all support this new president coming in. Governance is all about the responsibility of every Nigerian all over the world. He must be the advisor to the new president. If one person, your candidate didn't win today, doesn't mean that your candidate cannot win in 2027. Let us respect the process and let us forget about interim government or any violence going on. We are not saying they should not contest their election, but they should do that. That's we had values to our electoral process. But let's stay away from trouble. We have so much problem. There is no electricity, insecurity. Those are what we should focus, and we should be able to build our country with speed. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling in, Mr. Lukman. Dr. Abdullahi Mohammed Jabi, I'm going to come to you, but let me go on a break first, and then when we come back, I'll come to you and get your comments on this particular aspect of the conversation. Stay with us, please. We'll be right back.
Politics is defined as getting what, where, when, and how. But in the mix, many things come to play to shape the political fortune of any country.
Honorable Minister, that's how you misinform the public.
From the political actors to the electorate, campaign to voting, from debates to policy decisions, big events happen to engage us in constant conversation.
That's what we're looking for. Not some people who are talking about ethnicity. No.
Who is on your mind?
Don't worry.
Join me every day on Politics Tonight, where we dissect issues that shape our political destiny. Politics Tonight, weekdays on TVC News.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Lagos is the most visited state in Africa as the 5th largest economy on the continent. Covering the state and its government is no mean feat. It's a busy beat. We go beyond the curtain of tapes to travel in far into the deep.
I want to thank the Lagos state government for the healthcare facility.
To bring stories that cut across all spectrums.
A greater Lagos shall be ours.
We tell you stories that define our collective well-being as Lagosians. I'm Adedoja Salamadini. I live in Lagos, inside Lagos.
Welcome back. Dr. Abdullahi Mohammed Jabi is our guest, as is Chief Modestus Umenzekwe.
Yes.
Oh dear.
I will fight you.
Oh dear. Apologies, Chief.
I will fight you.
No. You will be well within your rights, but don't call for any interim, any national something.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
We can quarrel.
Quarrel.
And then we'll sort it out.
We'll sort it out.
Without any interim, national, anything. Reverend Dominic, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Chief Yori. Good morning to your guest.
Indeed.
Yori, let me sound like a broken record for the maybe 50 or 20 times. Yori, this election have been won and lost. I've said it before, I will say it again. If there's anybody that should go to court, I will go to court because I don't know if I have local standing. I was denied to vote on 18th March. Why? Because I'm an Igbo man. That's really painful. I don't know when I'm going to come out of it. But by the way, that's part of, election in Africa, Nigeria. We're seeing that stage where we are flagging, cards. That is over. But Yori, how long do we destroy our institutions? The last time I checked, yes, it's not a preacher, maybe a Christian preacher or a Muslim preacher. What the Sharif used to say, that a lion or a tiger don't announce his target. He go after his target and hung on it. Why, when did Jesus become a preacher to make people to repent? If someone has broken a law, you catch him or you interrogate him, you query him. I love what they do to Fani Kayode. When Fani was talking about Q, they invited him in the office and the man resent and they let him go and warn him. This is what Jesus should do. We can't destroy our institutions. I heard your guest say that we're in democracy. Democracy powers the rule of law. Democracy is power. In when you break the law, you pay for it. That was democracy. Democracy is not because when you break a law, the party is back. That's by the way. You're number 3. Interim government is nonsensical. The people that call interim government doesn't even know how it works. It is government in power that brings interim government. If they don't know, they should go back to history. It was when IBB, Maradona is so much of power that he think about interim power that was illegal. The only person that can bring interim government is Muhammad Buhari and his cabinet. And anybody can cry, anybody can shout, anybody can weep. There's nothing they can do. They ain't gonna do propaganda. They're not propaganda agents. They're a secret agent. When they catch you, when you break a law, they will catch you on the way. They don't announce to you. So that's why, and you're peace. For peace to reign, there must be healing. The government that coming to Lagos, and I sure you must call a meeting so we reconcile the pain inflicted on Igbos in Lagos here. Some people now is like in hospital because we are brothers, we are sisters. I keep wanting this thing before 18th March. George was flying that cat. I said the man that won election, bring everybody in Lagos. I sure you brought Igbos. I will be surprised if we don't take that man in budget and make him a minister of finance. It's an Igbo man. I sure you he's a unifier. But some people in Lagos here broke that law. We must bring them to book so we don't repeat it again. Indeed. Good morning and God bless you.
Thank you very much for calling in, Reverend Dominic. Let me come over to you, Dr. Abdullahi Mohammed Jabi. We're talking about the ethnic tensions that we witnessed. Shocked a lot of people in Lagos because here we are, we've been living, we've been cool, all calmed down and all of that until this election reared its head and interpretations were taken as to what was going on politically. And you know the rest of the story, where the hosts thought that they were being, they were going to try and pull a fast one and all of that. Give me your thoughts on that.
Well, I need to draw attention and take action from the last speaker perspective. The issue is the candidate were followed up by primary election in various two parties for 2023 came up with his own unique outlook. Because it reconnects our old memory of settlement along ethnicity and religious life. And you can see the tension that followed as a build-up to that election, where some individuals were very busy using their own national ethnicity to project their candidate that fall out of the PDP to have been the best candidate to be and to emerge as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria through the ballot box. And some other people were saying, no, let our a free, fair playing ground where the best will emerge through Nigerians who vote that will determine what happens. But you saw the beggar and the bullying on the social media by particular geopolitical zones in support of their favored candidates. And you saw the damage that it has caused, not only to the cycle of Nigerians, even individual personalities. So above all, election has come and gone. Leaders have emerged. We have in the kitty today, elect Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu, who is going to take charge of affairs of governance in Nigeria in the next 4 years, and is going to prove his worth based on the experience, professionalism, benevolent leadership, and competencies in getting people that matters, who are the real governors, to assist him to transform Nigeria from the slow state we are today. And everybody was a contributor to the state Nigeria today. And the one man is given the challenge to see what he can do to make sure that these abnormalities are corrected. So
okay. Dr. Jabi, Dr. Mohammed Jabi, the audio, there's something wrong with the audio. We'll fix that, and we'll be able to come back to you. In the meantime, let me come to studio, and in case you just joined us at this late time, we're looking at the preposterous notion, actually, of an interim national government being canvassed by some in Nigeria. Most people are outraged. Reverend Dominic called in, and he was saying that maybe they don't even know how it works, in the sense that it's a government in power that sort of installs an interim national government. And he was speaking about the president has said that he's committed to doing his job, doing his duty, and handing over. Also, the committee has been raised. All work is going on. DSS also spoke about that they're in support of all the bodies that have been raised, all towards the successful execution of the handover to the winner of the election. And then we have the preposterous notion of some misguided, to borrow a word from DSS, misguided. Of course, you said that they misguided themselves.
Yes.
You don't believe that there are sponsors behind this whole idea?
Until you ask them questions.
Before you will know.
Before I will know. But as far as I'm concerned, they misguided themselves.
Because the notion is such that how could anybody come up with that? But here it has come up with, they have been warned. Hopefully they will heed the warning and know that nobody favors this idea.
You see, let me say something.
Sure.
No matter the level of anger or frustration one may have, we should be very, very, very careful in doing anything that will lead to violence and war.
A breakdown of law and order.
Yes. War is not a tea party. When there is war, you're not talking about your wife. You're not talking about your children. You're not even talking about yourself. It is a very, very, very dangerous situation. Okay, and we must do all things possible, everything possible to nip it in the bud.
Indeed. I don't want to de-emphasize.
Anything violence.
I don't want to de-emphasize. Exactly.
Anything violence. I dissociate myself.
Violence, breakdown of law and order.
Yes.
But isn't war going a bit far? No way. No country, they say, survives 2 civil wars.
These small things, if not unchecked.
If not checked.
Yes. If not checked, we snowball into war. And we must not allow that.
And therefore, that's something to watch out for. Did I hear that Mr. Davis, did I get that right? Mr. Davis, is it Davis or David? I didn't catch that properly. Davis in Alimosho.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you, Folarin. God will bless you, sir.
Go ahead, please.
Elder David from Alimotop.
Oh, Elder Davis. Good morning to you, sir.
Elder David, sir. Not David. Elder David, sir. Thank you, sir. Elder David. Thank you very much, sir. God will bless you. I have been on this platform for a very long time. Please correct my name. My name is Elder David. D-A-V-I-D, Elder David.
I thought so.
Yes.
Okay, Elder David.
Thank you very much. I'm very grateful. God will bless you. There can never be interim government. When people lose the election, let them go to the normal place, go to court. I was a member of PDP. I'm a founder. When Obasanjo came in, people went to court. That is correct. But let me tell you one thing. This government is the most best of democratic government since 1999. Yes, I can prove it to you. I'll be telling you people on this platform that Tinubu will win this election. And he will rule to 2031 by the grace of God. And nobody
well, in 4 year increments.
We're talking about 4 years.
Let's look at the first 4 years.
Yeah. I was a victim when Obasanjo was there. That was in UPN. When he said to talk, let me talk, sir. Let me talk. It's not a hate speech. Yes, I was a victim. I was equally on SDK. And the same thing, when he said, Abiola is not a messiah. Today, this man has already won this election. Let anybody who says he doesn't believe in that winning of this election, let him go to court. And this is the most free I've ever seen. When we were there, they captured Edo State, Ondo State, then they said, Osun State, people are aware of it. It's no other affair. But this government never said that. And they allowed free and fair elections. By the grace of Almighty God, God has chosen Aladdin. That God has made Tinubu to read this one. And it's been like that. And so it has been. May God bless you and bless every Nigerian. It has been in Jesus' name. Thank you very much. It's not a haste.
Thank you, Elder David, for calling in. Dr. Abdullahi Mohammed, on this particular issue, I think by now it would have been, the audio would have been better. We were talking about this election, as certainly a lot of people, I was going to say most people, but since some people are in court, but most people have said that this has been the freest and the fairest election, which is not the same as to say that there were no issues that had to be addressed in pockets here and there. That's not what we're saying. We're not saying that that didn't happen, but that election, in spite of the low turnout, has been a quite free and fair election. What would you say to that?
This election is one of the best acclaimed elections apart from 1993 election. One of the best in the sense that this election came with a lot of challenges. This is a ruling government and a ruling party in power who allow cabals within the same cabinet to introduce people policies that has injured the party and the candidate of the party 2 weeks to election. If not God's intervention, that Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu is divine to take over leadership of Nigeria and replicate what he did in Lagos for 8 years in terms of human capital achievement, in terms of developmental project and what have you. Nigeria will have been a mess. So we must give it to God that God lives in Nigeria and Nigeria is God. This election came up with a lot of surprises, despite the tripod ethnicity that was promoted by delegates in various political parties, which came with the issue of ethnicity and religion, and the hit-up of the Christian demanding for vice president from the APC party, which was not given, because election is about number, and the number will determine who wins the election at the Pope. And this is the result we've seen now, that religion is secondary in the affairs of party politics. So this election came up with a lot of surprise. Today, for the first time, Mr. President-elect lost election in Lagos State. It's one-based state. Isn't it a surprise? There are a lot of governors that lost their states to other political parties. Isn't it a surprise? Because the demography shows that the youth have actively shown interest, keen interest in presidential elections for the good of all. So I give it to Independent National Electoral Commission under Professor Mahmood Yahya for leaving to the bidding of the commission in tandem with rule of engagement, in tandem with 2022-23 electoral law. And the result is very, very peaceful. This is the only election that has not thrown up monumental violence as a result of political thuggery and political malpractices. There was no influence of money bags at this election. There was no influence of vote buying at this election. People vote according to their conscience maximally. Each of the candidates campaign ran it at 6 states, including FCT, to shop for votes across board. And despite the orchestrated lies against Tinubu, he's sick, he's not well, he can't do it, he was able to stand the storm and came out better. And today, a president-elect that is going to give us the best in the next 4 years, so that Nigerians is going to cultivate and attract the interest of Nigerians to himself, change it, paradigm shift from the old order to what is going to deliver to Nigerians.
All right, then. Well, I want to thank you very much, Dr. Abdullahi Mohammed Jabi. Thank you very much for joining our program this morning. Really appreciate your time. Thank you very much. All right, then. Now, back in the studio, Lagos, here with Chief Modestus Umenzekwe.
Yes.
Yeah.
I give you 100% now.
You know, I'm sure you also agree with most of what he said, that, look, there were issues in the election. Those issues will be addressed. Reverend Dominic phoned in to say some things. Oh, there's a lot of cleaning up to be done after the party. But a good election was conducted.
Yeah, there's no doubt about
There's no doubt about that.
There's no doubt.
It has been won and it has been lost. But to those who lost, go to the courts. And that's where they are now. And so we all have to be patient. And the preposterous idea of an interim national government, we're talking about, because you said, why are we talking about this? Well, we're talking about it because we were shocked. We were surprised. We didn't know that things could go that crazy. No. But it's not going to be allowed.
No, it's not going to be allowed. You see, we're in a learning process. At times, people say America, Britain, or those people. We are in a learning process. Those people passed this stage.
I agree with you.
They passed this stage.
Yes.
So we have to exercise some patience.
Okay. That's a fine place to leave it, Chief.
Yes.
And I want to thank you also for making time for us this morning. Chief Modestus Umenzekwe, politician, board member of FHA. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you.
Indeed.
God bless you.
Thank you very much. So that's our program today. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folarin. Bye-bye for now.
It is time for us to leave this place.
One of your earrings is missing.
No one will find it.
I'm not willing to take that chance.
I have a big plan.
What do you want?
I want a senior position at Dubai.
If anything happens to me, go through the content of this envelope and check every single thing.
It's done. No one will ever find out the truth.
Ramadan, the 9th month in the Islamic calendar, is here again. This is a wonderful time to learn more about Islam and give to the cause of Allah. It's also a time when extra emphasis is on charity and good neighborliness. From the first day to the last day of Ramadan, join us on TVC from 3 to 6 a.m. every day for Ramadan Kareem. Recitation of verses in the Quran, tafsir by great Islamic scholars. Ask the Sheikh for clarity on Ramadan and Islam. What's more, you can learn and win great prizes in the Ramadan quiz segment, all spiced up with soul-stirring nasheed.
Asking for a sign from you, 'cause I'm so broke inside.
Ramadan Kareem on